you remember where we were all at Memorial Day weekend 2021?
Nope.
Here.
You don't? Yeah, we were here. We were here all weekend.
Running a machine.
Yeah, that's when we got the phone call from a huge Target account and said our competition, who they kept throwing in our face, saying that they're doing a good job as a supplier and they're not looking to move business, had just shut their plant down because they couldn't get material.
And that was a Wednesday, wasn't it?
I think it was on a Wednesday.
And they were going to be shut down on Monday.
The following Monday. Yep. And so we started calling them and found out, sure enough, our competitor couldn't get material because we couldn't get it either.
Yeah, we got some help from one of our key vendors, didn't we?
We did.
Worldwide.
Yeah, Worldwide Foam. I think we ordered the material the following day, and it came in, was it a Friday?
It was Friday.
Friday we got the material?
Friday evening.
Yeah, Friday late.
We started with laminating was our big hurdle.
That's right, because it had film on the top
we had
and
lots
adhesive
of film
on the bottom.
That's right. And we couldn't get it to here without curling it. And so we had to do all the
Did we try to do all of it on the rotary?
We tried to do it all on the rotary.
Yeah.
There was two laminates, top and bottom. The film, the adhesive film was on top, and then we started with the film, and now to this point, I think we're still doing that same process.
And we used existing dies that we already had that we were able to match up to the dimensions because we didn't have time to get tooling from Wednesday till Friday.
Yep. And the thickness.
On the rotary. That was on the rotary.
That was on the rotary.
And
But
the thickness.
And it wouldn't pull it through.
It
No.
actually stopped the rotary from running. It actually just.
I was
in
sitting there with my thumb on the button, pulling the material through the nip roller. I actually got carpal tunnel in my thumb.
So what time of the evening was it that we started hitting the panic button?
About 10, I think. That's where Brandon and I peeled off and said, we need a new plan.
Yeah.
And we got the guys together and we said, all right, what do we know and what do we not know? And
which did you have more of? Stuff you knew or stuff you didn't know?
we knew what didn't work, but we didn't quite know what was going to. But we peeled off, we completely rewrote the process. So we had to completely pivot on approach. And we knew that we had people showing up to make these parts at 5 in the morning. And we didn't have a process, we didn't have a tool. And the thing was that they needed 50,000 parts by.
They had to be there Monday, I think.
I think they.
Yeah.
And it's 10 o'clock on a Friday on a holiday weekend, and we didn't have a process or a tool that worked yet. We took one process, turned it into 3 separate processes, all came back together, got die cut. We were ready for our operators 5 a.m. on Saturday morning.
Spook came in early the next morning, didn't he?
He did. He came in to get it dialed in for us.
Was the water jet part of that process making those strips?
Oh, that's right.
That's right. We had to make the strips.
material.
We had to
Split the sheets.
split the sheets in the water jet first. I don't know how many, 4 layers deep or something. We made the strips before they even went to the laminator. We had actually 2 laminators laminating those sheets, film, and then adhesive,
And then a rotary, and then a preco
and then a rotary, and then a preco, right?
to make a rectangle.
To make a rectangle. There was lots of rectangles, Joe.
But it was a lot of things came together. I mean, because Worldwide Foam stepped up to the plate. Project that we had just got a sample from another one of their customers. Called them. They had to pull the material. They had to cut the material to thickness and get it shipped to us. Here's one thing I can tell you that I pulled up some numbers that the business has tripled that we've done with that location since Memorial Day 2021. They had a problem, we solved it, and they've been paying attention to us ever since because that business continues to grow and we continue to get new parts. So, hey, the next time I come with these crazy ideas, I can say, guys, it worked one time. You know that we just got to keep investing in these customers because that one did work out.
That one goes through the plant without us even noticing it now. It is a
That's
regular
true.
job.
Yep.
It goes through. It gets laminated, gets the process, gets the sheets cut, right to the preco, bangs out, and
Yeah, it's
I
automatic.
don't think we
now.
even see it.
And then
Since then.
it didn't insult to injury. A year later, they come and say, hey, when we gave you that business, your competitor had actually ordered more material that finally came in. Can you guys use their material so we don't stick them with it?
Oh, that's right. Yep.
And we actually worked that out too. We ended up taking and buying their material, bringing it in to help them use it. We wouldn't want somebody to do that to us either. But that was a fun project. Well, one of the great things about working here with our guys is it's never been having to convince somebody it's a good idea to do it. With our team, the first thing somebody says when I go and say, hey, customer's got a problem, we got to help them. Then I get one of those little things that says, how big's the business? And so it makes it a lot easier to talk people into it when you can say, hey, this is $500,000 worth of business. But it is a good thing about our team is that when you come in with these lame brain requests, very seldom do we ever get somebody push back, say, why are we going to do that? Why should we have to do that? Wasn't our problem. But the best customers we have are the ones that have a problem. Because if they don't have a problem, we don't get to show them what we're good at.
Yep. That's right.
So unfortunately, or I guess fortunately, we have a lot of customers with problems.
How did we react when we found out we had to do all that? It was like another day.
It was. Well, and night.
I mean, bottom line, it was
and a couple nights,
but it was nothing surprising or unusual for us to go into that panic mode or that process of developing some kind of something to make it happen. So,
well, once we got all the parts made, customers in Texas, and it's a weekend, so it's not like you call up UPS or you call up Motor Freight. So we did work with Chad, who has a relationship. What's the guys that come and pick up stuff that from Armacell and they bring it in here all the time? So he had to arrange with a trucking company to come in and pick the parts up and put a team of drivers in there so they wouldn't have to stop. And they drove them to Tyler, Texas. When they came in that next morning, parts were sitting there waiting on them.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, the fun thing about our job is that we stayed up all night, worked on all of that, and then a couple weeks later, Brackman goes out to see the account, and people are coming out of the shop floor high-fiving him. Thank you so much. You saved us. You put us back to work. But the business grew, and we got the fruits of our labor, or the fruits of y'all's labor. I kind of watched, but that was really cool. And guys, doing all of that, it sounds like it was extraordinary. And, maybe sometimes we wished it was, but, jumping through those hoops, making the unimaginable happen, it is what we do. And,
every day.
Yeah. And really glad, Brad gives me a hard time and says, well, why don't I just go sell something that we already make? But how boring would that be? And, but our business has grown because we are able, not just able, we're willing, capable, and able to make those kind of things happen. And customers don't forget it. I think years ago, I don't even remember who started kind of coining the phrase, but we wanted to say yes. And I think we actually tried to put something together, and that was in our, guiding principles or something that we were doing.
We start with yes.
We start with yes. And I will admit, sometimes it's a whole lot easier to say yes than it is to make it happen. But, it's really a good feeling when you can say yes to a customer that's in trouble. But you have to be careful. You got to make sure that you can say it and do it, because you don't make them real happy if you say sure and then don't. Yeah. So I think we've been real successful in taking an opportunity or a problem and being able to say yes and make it happen.